It's a great privilege to be among the doctors who provide relief to the humanity day in and day night. And so far as my department is concerned, we have a daily relationship with the medical fraternity, because whenever there is a case of assault, whether it is violent assault or sexual assault, or for that matter any other offense affecting the human body, we have to approach a medical expert. It is on his opinion that the relevant section of law is applied. And apart from that, whenever somebody is in pain, whether he is male, female or child, so he approaches the hospital, and then the succor is provided to that patient. There has been some problems so far as the medical OPDs are concerned. So therefore, there were a number of complaints regarding assault by the patients on the medical fraternity, particularly in the emergency when the patients are brought. So therefore, the state thought it proper to bring about a legislation to protect the medical fraternity. And the police department has issued standard operating procedures to ensure that the police at the police station and outpost level, they are well sensitized and they understand the importance of medical fraternity to the society. But at the same time, we have felt, after having dealt with so many cases, particularly in the national capital, Delhi, where there are large number of hospitals, super specialty hospitals, that when a patient comes to the outdoor OPD or in the emergency, they come with their relatives are anxious, they see the patient in pain, because that is the time when the doctor has to show compassion in addition to his expertise, in addition to the medical treatment. And sometimes it has been noticed, because a doctor also sees number of patients. After all, he is a human being. So he is tired, he has to attend large number of patients. But every family wants that his patient should be attended at top priority, because they don't see the pain every day. They don't see patients every day. For them, their patient is the most important. Whereas for a medical expert, it is a routine thing, because every day you are dealing with the patients. So we have to understand the psyche of person who accompanies the patient, whether it is a gunshot injury, because with gunshot injuries, the accompanying relatives want that he should be immediately attended, because if he is not immediately attended, then the person can succumb to his injuries. So while handling with such cases, we have come across that sometimes the situation arises because of the lack of understanding on both the sides. So therefore, we have to understand the psyche of the person who accompanies the patient, and we are trained people. The society, the person who comes to the hospital is not trained in a particular profession. For example, policeman is trained in talking to the people, doctor is trained to provide treatment to a patient and at the same time to be a compassionate person, because anybody who provides relief is supposed to be very patient and very, very compassionate. So, as a policeman, as a police officer, because we have to deal with large number of people who come under tremendous pressure to the police station. So we brief our people to be compassionate, and outwardly a policeman appears to be a very harsh person. He is supposed to be, and police is supposed to be tough, because if they are not tough, then the society will be taken over by the antisocial elements. But internally, because we talk to them day in and day out, they are very, very compassionate. Because sometimes we judge a policeman by his outward appearance. But we've seen that policemen are very compassionate, because every day they see people in trouble. If somebody's precious thing is stolen, and they see that person because he has an attachment to that particular thing. If somebody's money is stolen, then they see that pain on the face of the person. So all these things do affect the personality of a person. Similarly, as members of the medical fraternity, you also see people in pain day in and day out, and it goes to your credit. After attending to so many patients, you still go back home smiling. Because that I saw during the COVID, because in COVID it was basically the medical community and the police department who were the first responders. So we were involved in providing relief to the people, providing essential items to the people, and you were actually treating unmindful of your own family members or personal risk to your health. So that way, the task of both the law enforcement and the medical fraternity is basically service of the society, and you really came out with flying colors during the COVID. And so far as medico-legal jurisprudence is concerned, when I entered, the doctors have made an excellent presentation, and I could make out, I first mistook him as a lawyer. So that is what I was telling to the Dr. Sophia J. Only a lawyer could speak with that authority, with that command and expertise. So if doctor understands the law, he would understand the situation on the other side of the table also. And it's good that doctors are now doing, a large number of doctors are now doing courses in law, and I'm sure that if large number of people understand law, they will definitely have a lot of compassion for the children, for the women, and for the elderly who come to the hospital for getting relief. And once again, I am grateful to IMA Barbades for having me here and giving me an opportunity to have words, have interaction with the members of the medical fraternity, because that will give me a lot of insight if you have any kind of problem with the police department. And so far as government hospitals are concerned, yes, there are police outfits there, so they have immediate assistance of the police department. And the problem comes when some patient is brought to a private hospital, and sometimes there is a confusion, and due to confusion, sometimes they feel that the doctor is not attending to the patients. So that is the time where we have to be very compassionate and make them understand what is possible and what is not possible. But how do we resolve? Sometimes we would, using the language is very important. The way words have magic powers. So whenever we choose appropriate words, the patient and his accompanying family member will definitely calm down. When I was a deputy commissioner of police, and there used to be fight in the hospital because I was in an area which was predominantly a poor locality, Jayaprakash Narayan Hospital is situated in central Delhi, and population is very dense, and every day there were calls of fight between the medical staff and the public. So when I used to respond sometime during night, because it was a hospital, very prominent hospital, so we would only pose one question to the family member: which religion you belong to? He will say, I'm a Sikh, I'm a Hindu, I'm a Muslim, I'm a Christian. So we would pose him a question: if you now pray before your God, He's not going to come and present for you the God as the doctor. So you have to respect Him. He will only provide immediate relief, because doctor is in the form of God at the particular moment. So you have to believe Him, because you never criticize your God who provides you relief and who has provided you all those things. And the patient would definitely understand, his family member would definitely understand. So therefore we have to choose very appropriate words when we are interacting with the patient in pain and the family member who is accompanying the patient. So with these words, I am very grateful to Dr. Sophia in particular and other members for giving me an opportunity. And I'm also grateful to Dr. Shabir Ali. He has been my teacher, because I did my law from VM Salgaonkar College. So it's a great opportunity to be sitting with your teacher also. So thank you very much. Thank you very much for having me here.
Only I would like to say about what happened to me about 7-8 years back. I wasn't aware of this POSCO Act. I just got a 16-year-old girl who had come with a mother. The mother said, this was early in the morning, mother said she's getting pain, and I just want to do a sonography for her. I did the sonography. I found that she was 18 weeks pregnant. I'm a radiologist. I was taken aback. So the mother was inside, there was a nurse also inside, so there was no problem. So I explained to the mother that she's pregnant. Fine, she didn't react much. She went. After about 15 minutes, the nurse told me that the father wants to meet you. I said, fine. So when the father came, I told the father, see, she's 18 weeks pregnant, and you have to do something fast, because before 20 weeks, because at that time it was 20 weeks. Fine, over. After about a month, I get a summons. And even till date, when I get a summons, I miss a heartbeat. Although I have learned a few things now, and that's when everything started. I was called at the women's court, and the first thing the woman police officer asked me is, why you did not report? I said, why should I report? They said, you have to report. If you don't report, I can say you are hand in glove. I said, madam, hold down. I have nothing to do with this. Yes, I know, but you have to report. And that's when my knowledge about this law, etc., increased. And today, as Dr. rightly said, do anything but first inform. I won't take much time. Please enjoy the session, because we are going to learn a lot today and will be really accomplished by the end of it.
Dignitaries of the dais and dignitaries of the dais, I'm very happy to be amongst the doctors. I was a doctor, I'm the other side of the doctor. I'm a doctor in law, not in the real doctor. So it's happy for me, because legal profession as well as medical profession are close together. And we are coming in the case laws, and we care about what is injury cause and how the injury cause which double use. But you don't know whether injury is sufficient to cause it or not. We mainly are looking at theory and we don't know the practicality. So for that we require the doctors. Without the doctors, the case are going to be solved. And as the doctors, you know that yours is one of the most important and noble professions. As the Sri Jashpal Singh mentioned that DGP of law informed that you are always on work, 24/7 you are on work. And even if patient comes right at 12 o'clock, we can say 1 o'clock, still we will be getting up and saying that you have to do your duties. But tomorrow again, same person if I look at the history, doctor did not respond. Because even though you are doing a lot of responsibility and you are doing the job perfectly, still somebody may challenge. Because they are not taking proper care and they are not doing justice to us. Sometimes because of your duty also, sometimes you may rude. And even as the chief informed that, sometimes because you know that I may be important for me, my daughter is important. And for you, you have seen the patient from every day in your life, many patients. You think that he is also one patient, but I want more importance for my daughter. This is what we think, but you know that what is important for you and which is important for you. And there are a lot of misunderstandings between the doctors and the patient. And you should sit together and you should learn about these things. And as some of the members are mentioning, ignorance of law is no excuse. That based on the magazine, ignorance duty is not exact. If you don't know the law, you can't take everything like, I don't know the law. The first time you know this is, no, you have to know what the law is. If you don't know the law, you are liable for the consequences. And just now, I think one of the doctor, he gave a presentation about the postgraduate and information. Regarding information, we come up with a new enactment, right to information of 275. And this enactment is a duty of every person to disclose all the details. But if you don't disclose, tomorrow they say that you are not disclosed and they will put the consequences. And with these few words, because we are going to have again talk and we are going to discover many things in course of time, I thank mainly Dr. Sophia, who was being us, and she was even reminding me that tomorrow is a program. And she always reminding, and thank you Sophia for giving opportunity. I thank IMA body also for giving me opportunity to share my thoughts. All the degrees are there, so many people are there. We are many people I just met first time. I don't recall the names also. Thank you all of you. Thank you.
On behalf of IMA Bangladesh, I take this opportunity to propose vote of thanks. At the outset, I would like to thank today's chief guest, the Commissioner of Goa, the guest of honor, Dr. Ali, and all the distinguished dignitaries on the dais, the panelists who are going to illuminate us with the knowledge in the field of medical legal aspects. I also wish to thank the Treasurer of IMA Goa State, Dr. Sandeep Bhatt, the Executive Committee of IMA Bangladesh, Dr. Vardhan, Dr. Sophia, and for any event, it is the audience which matters. So thank you very much for the wonderful audience for attending this session.
Today, IMA Bangladesh had a CME, which was a state level CME, attended by all doctors across all branches, and it was to explain to all the doctors the medical legal aspects of our practice, sometimes which is lacking in proper documentation and taking a proper consent, and there are so many other topics which were covered today. The medical legal aspect, which is very important for all doctors in today's world, and we are not very well trained according to the law at times. And this aspect was the theme of today's medical legal CME, which was attended in very large numbers by doctors all across the state of Goa. We had a very esteemed dignitary in the form of DGP, Mr. Jaspal Singh, Mr. Shabir Ali from the Law College, and a very esteemed panel of 7 speakers who have come across all the country and have delivered excellent lectures for the sake of all the doctors who attended today's program. Thank you so much.
I'm Dr. Sophia Rodrigues, obstetrician and gynecologist by practice, and I'm the secretary for Indian Medical Association Bardis. So as Dr. Vardhan rightly mentioned that we had a medical legal CME, medicine and law is a double-edged sword, and the whole idea of this conference is to bridge that gap between the common man, that's the public, and the doctors. So it can save us, it can kill us also. Both the sides, both the parties, that is the common man and the doctors, have to work together to bring better practice, to bring better medicine, and to help the patients recover faster. That's it I want to say. Thank you very much.